So our guest for today is somebody that I highly respect, that, all of a sudden, this is not someone that you actually just know because someone referred you. This is someone that I got to know through LinkedIn and then from another person. So it's all about the power of referral. If you see Brandon's background, that's raving referral. So I am very, very proud and honored to welcome Tom Wilmans to our call today. So a little bit about Tom. Who is Tom Wilmans? Right, Tom? So I'm going to edify you real quick for a few seconds because you deserve this. Tom Wilmans is the founder. He has his own company called More Solutions. So it speaks to the pain points. Founder of More Solutions, which is a strategic and marketing business operations coaching practice that focuses on small and medium tier companies. So he's really all in line with who we are and business owners. So he's been on this journey for over 30 years. He's worked with companies from all sizes, from small to large, from Fortune 500 companies to startups. So he's now, he joins with us because he also comes with the tool that we are promoting to all our team as well. We believe in this tool that he has. They're road tested, they're time proven, and it's called the Profit Accelerator software. Right? So what it does is that it helps business owners really recognize, identify where they're at and what they need to do to elevate their business to a whole different level. So it's data driven and it's solution focused. So this will hit a lot of us. I know our own company needs that. And I know a lot of people who could appreciate this, and it's free. So he'll do the consulting and the analysis for free. And then he takes on. And what I love about Tom is that he is a very highly integrous person. He will tell you if he can help you magnanimously. And if it's not, he's going to tell you what there is. So meaning to say, he speaks the truth, and we thrive for the truth at the Champions Institute. So Tom, I'm so very honored to meet you and again, to see you again. And before I go there, Brandon, can you share a really quick point as our chairman? Like, I know you adore Tom as well. So may you share with everyone what your own ideas are or
Yeah,
thoughts?
thank you. I mean, yeah, we're super excited to have Tom Wilmans in as part of our core team here at the Champions Institute. What Tom does with the profit acceleration process and really analyzing where a company's at and what are the variables in their business, what are the drivers to success, where even if we create a 3 to 5% increase in each of these top 10 drivers for your company, it creates a massive difference. And what I love about Tom's system is it allows you to see as a business owner not only your current state but the future state. So he actually will show people the ability, the upside potential in a numeric report so they can see how much more money they're leaving on the table by not optimizing some of these things. So Tom, thank you so much for everything you're doing. We're super excited to have you
No,
here.
thank
And
you. Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
awesome. Take it away.
So what I wanted to talk a little bit about, Emmy, we had talked a little bit about how leadership and communication fit in with a lot of this. And, I have just a couple of, you gave, first of all, thanks very much for the background and my background. You did a much better job than I think I would have done. But from a leadership standpoint, I think, I heard when I joined the call, several different key points that I think that I'd like to be able to weave together a little bit. And then bring them back maybe to the profit acceleration software and what that means in terms of running a small business. Does that sound like it'd be something that would be valuable for the folks today?
Absolutely.
So one of the things I think that's really fascinating right now is that leadership is probably, for any company, any endeavor, it's probably the most competitive advantage in the world today. Okay. And I say that, I want to go back to what you said. People don't leave companies because they're going to get a couple bucks more in the place they're going. They leave always because of the leadership in the company, whether it's their next in line manager or somebody higher in the company, because of being treated poorly, not being led well. Right. And so any company that wants to have a competitive advantage in terms of attracting and retaining and developing people needs to be focusing on leadership. Okay. That said, I also think that leadership is very, very misunderstood. And I think you see it because you see all in the literature. I mean, I don't know how many things come through your email, but there's always something about, improving your leadership skills, leadership in online marketing, leadership in leading groups, all over the place. And I think that there's so many people out there selling leadership because they're not selling it in the way we think about it in the Champions Institute. And we don't think about it in terms of a couple of things. First of all, there's some big mistakes. I think, first of all, people think about it as something external to themselves. It's almost like, gee, this is a coat I can put on. I'm going to put my leader coat on today and go to work, or I'm going to put my leader coat on and go in front of clients. And it really doesn't work that way. True leaders have a level of integrity and authenticity. There are many different ways to lead, and we'll get back to that one when we talk a little bit about bank. But in order to do that, you have to be authentic to yourself. That people can see fakeness, either if you're trying to convince them of something you don't truly believe in, or if your actions and what you say and what you do aren't integrated. That is, that they're not the same. They talk about people see what you say, you see what you do, not necessarily what you say. I think people see what you say and see what you do. And if they're misaligned, right, then they know something is up. And they may not even be able to articulate it, but that's when they start looking for a new job or a new consultant or a new boss or something like that. I think they also confuse leadership with managing others, right? Managing and leading are completely different skills, completely different ways of being. They're both valuable, but if you're a leader, but if you're using the management stick, the carrot and the stick, and you're using the stick in any way, shape, or form, whether it's performance appraisals or you're not truly leading, you're managing. Okay. A leader is using the carrot all the time. The third is, the belief that, there's only one way to be a leader. And that's why I think that we have this mythology out there that leaders are born, they're not made. And I think it's actually the opposite. The reason we think leaders are born is because the people we see leading most effectively have a level of passion and a level of integrity that shines through all of the other stuff, right? But in fact, real leadership, I think to begin with, is sacrificial. That is, there's a stewardship component of leadership that people don't necessarily think about. If I'm leading, I'm really serving the people I'm leading. If I'm working with a client, I was sitting down with a client on Monday. If I'm merely saying this is where you can go and telling him how to do it, that's not truly leading, right? I have to be able to be sacrificial. I need to alter how I am saying things, meeting him where he is in order to provide that level of understanding, that level of motivation. And that comes back to meeting people where they are. And I think that's one of the beautiful things about bank, is that what it really does is teach us to be better leaders by meeting people where they are, right? It's communicating in a way that resonates with them so that you are able to articulate that direction that they want to go. A true leader is going to be, when I talk about self, kind of the sacrificial portion of it, is they're painting a picture. They need to be painting a picture of something that's better than now. Not just for themselves, right? It's not all about being selfish and, gee, I want you guys to go in this direction because it's going to help me, right? It's got to be, we're going to go in this direction because it's going to help all of us, or it's going to help both of us, right? And that's why, and to be able to do that, you got to let go of something. You got to give something up, both individually, but you're also asking people to give something up. And unless you can really articulate that well in a language they understand, in a way they understand, they're not going to want to move. They're not going to want to go to that better place. The beauty of bank is now being able to decode somebody's values. And when I use values, I don't mean it in a negative way, but understanding where they're coming from, how they think, how they communicate, and using that particular skill set now. I won't even call it a tool because it's a skill, to really get close and understand and be able to articulate things in terms of what they understand, what their values are, what motivates them, and getting them to move to that more positive place. Does that make sense?
100%, 1,000%. Thank you, Tom.
So I think from a leadership standpoint, those are the critical aspects. And that's why I think we can make more leaders in business, in nonprofit, in volunteer. We can make more leaders in our endeavors, in our communities, when we are really meeting people where they are and getting them so that they are enrolled in that direction we as leaders want to take them. Because at the end of the day, the way you know if you're really a leader, turn around and look who's behind you. If there's no one behind you, you're not leading. And now I'll shut up.
No,
That's a really good point, Tom. When you think about leadership, it's so interesting, right? Because it's one of the things that we teach, and we're excited that you guys have all come in here to learn communication mastery, right, for leaders. Yeah. And every one of you is a leader if you have people following. So it's so important, though. And I love what you shared about being authentic, and people need to really feel that they know you and that you know them. And that's one of the things where bank makes such an impact, right? Is because with bank, people feel that you know them so much faster because you do. I was in an event last night here in Scottsdale and cracked a few codes with bank, and just in those few minutes was able to speak their code back to them. And once you share with people their code, they get that you get them.
Yes,
and so that's just
one of the things I love about the Champions Institute and the way that we teach bank and teach this skill is that it's not being taught like a Jedi mind trick. It's not taught to take advantage of people. It's taught to really truly connect and have a greater level of empathy and understanding. Because that's important. That speaks back to the integrity and to the authenticity portion. If somebody wants to take bank and use it as a manipulative Jedi mind trick, people are going to read through that immediately. And that's where some of these techniques, again, leadership techniques or tools that I'll call them, both get a bad rap, but also don't work, because it gets, if you put it on like a jacket, I'm going to put my leadership jacket on and manipulate you. People are going to see through that.